Hello everyone, today I'll be walking you through all the work I've done thus far this summer 2020 with CDAC. To start off, let me give you a quick overview of who I worked with and where. So I worked with Dr. Diana Franklin under the CANON Lab, whose whole premise is computing for anyone, designing for equity and inclusion for all. While the CANON Lab has many initiatives, the two main ones I worked with were EPIC and Scratch Encore. So for EPIC, the whole premise is developing and communicating the CS in quantum computing. And this summer, they ran a summer camp for high school students in which we were asked to develop an online game in order to help explain the premise behind quantum entanglement. And thus, Spacewalk was born. So here, you can see each player has their own maze, but they're different mazes. So say right now, the player on the left cannot move down, but the player on the right can. So after the player on the right moves down, both the player on the left and the player of the right XY coordinate within the greater map will be updated, and thus they can move around the different mazes, collecting items as they go. So feel free to check it out at entanglementgame.herokuapp.com. Now, the main work I worked with was Scratch Encore, which the whole premise behind Scratch Encore is being able to give free and accessible CS curriculum to teachers. To give a little bit more overview, it's a module-based curriculum with, these are only 10 of the modules, and most modules have various strands in order to teach it as well. A multicultural strand, youth culture, and gaming to once again give a bit more avenues to give them more, to give kids a different chance to see themselves, see their culture, different examples that may not apply to everyone, and gaming just to a different way to present the same material. It's gone virtual, by the way, which we also helped turning those worksheets onto an online capability. And so one of our first tasks was to make kind of intro videos for each module. Us interns, we were tasked with the first about 5 modules. Here's one that I made, and it was definitely also made me add animated to my resume, as we built the videos via Scratch, so coding, kind of timing things different ways, switching the costumes at the correct moments, and it's also a very cute and way to teach the topics that I definitely appreciated as well. But now for the main bulk of the work was inputting all the answers and information from students and analyzing that. So we've worked thus far with 5 modules. With the first 5 modules, of course, it's definitely been hard because of COVID and getting those access to those worksheets, since a lot of the teachers also abruptly left their classrooms in March and really haven't been back since. But in total, we have been able to input the data for 475 worksheets and lots of graphs. And so to give an overview of some of those graphs, we have by the different strands, as I mentioned, seeing if there's any differences between the incorrect, correct, and blank answers left by strands, or by question type, as the worksheet is broken down in various ways as well, by classroom, and just overall student performance on questions. And those in the beginning was the most interesting, as we could really break down the questions if we saw one was more incorrect than the other. Like here, we noticed the more incorrect answers came whenever the students had to choose 2 options, and the incorrect answers, most common, was only the first one and never circled the second option. So what's next? More graphs to make, a lot more worksheets to input, a lot more things to analyze to see what has the greatest influence over the another, whether it's the question, classroom, the type of question, module, try to categorize the questions in different ways, and see what other insight we can find. Hope you enjoyed listening to all the work I've done this summer thus far as much as I enjoyed doing it. Thank you.